excited for everything that's about to happen over the next however long this is going to take. Hopefully 60 minutes or less is my promise. I want to start off. Yeah, let's get some GMs in the chat. There we go. A little $ cash. Shout out to Samya and my GDP bros out here. Love to see that as well. Let's start off with a little primer for people that might be new here. Maybe it's your first time. You don't really know what this is about. This is the speech, which I'll try to give every time from now on. So let me explain to you what the value of this call really is and why we're even here in the first place. Let's start off like this. Shit happens. I don't know if you noticed. The network went down over the weekend, right? The price of the Solana token is not where it once was. Liquidity in TVL might be low. Market sentiment, not great. But there is one thing that shines through the shit. And that is the people who keep building. And that is what this call is all about. The community of builders that are Solana. Right now, there are 150 people on this call and more joining every minute. Or no, 120 and more coming in every minute. That's 120 people who decided to join here. It's 9 a.m. on the East Coast. It's whatever time. I know we have people here from Indonesia where it's like 11 p.m. or something like that. It's crazy, right? That is 122 people who have decided they aren't scared of that kind of shit, right? If they were scared, they'd be doom scrolling or looking for copium. Instead, you're here, and that means something, right? The bull market is over. The tourists have less. We are what remains. And this is a call by, for, and about the real builders of Solana. Everything else is shit. Can I get a little amen in the chat? Can I get a little amen from the builders here? Shout out to Alice from Clockwork as well. Great to see you. Yeah, that is the point of this. So we're going to have some good vibes today. You know, the energy is going to be high. We might play a little bit of music. There might be an airdrop or two. I don't know. We're going to find out. But some good stuff is going to happen. Here is how it's going to work. If it's your first time here again, this is a bit of an experimental format. It's the third time we're trying this out, but hopefully it works pretty well. Number one rule of this, if you're watching this, get active in the chat. That is the whole reason that any of us are here, honestly. It's way more fun in the chat than it is up on stage. Number two, ask questions, get answers. This is a little webinar, so you can see there's a Q&A button on your Zoom somewhere. I don't know where it is on your screen. You can ask questions. All of the panelists will be able to see those and answer those either live. We might type answers back in, but do ask questions so you can get those answers. And then try to stay till the end. That's where there's going to be some little surprises coming in. So shout out to everybody who's just joining us here. I see people coming in. I saw our guy Irfan from Cubic and Super Team and Lamport and everywhere else. We got a bunch of people. There's too many people in here. Let's start running it up. Here's the agenda for today. We got some wins of the month. Some good stuff has happened in the last 4 weeks. We're going to go over that. Then we're going to talk about the state of Solana, specifically the network. We're going to look at NFTs. Our guy Noam from Monkedao is going to be telling us about the world of NFTs and Refi as well, regenerative finance from our friends at Gainforest. Then we're going to have special guest Matty Taylor from the Solana Foundation, the first Solana Foundation person to be on this call, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Matty, talking about Grizzlython. We got some project updates from some killer projects. We're going to do a little POAP at the end. Just going to be a good time. I can promise you that. And let me point this out right now. It's also a place that you can make a little bit of money. So $50 bounty is up for grabs for the best recap thread of this community call. Write a Twitter thread, post it, tag Super Team, tag me in it, and then we will probably announce the winner in the next 2 or 3 days. So you can get that up here as well. All right. Yeah. Money, says Dean. That's exactly right. So let's get directly into the wins of the month. This is always the fun part here. Let's start with win number one. 7,000 people are currently competing at Grizzlython. 7,000 registrations. Can I get a W in the chat for the 7,000 builders? Not afraid to keep on going. So this is very much a community effort. Obviously, Matty deserves some of the credit here as the guy kind of behind it, but everyone in the community who's bringing new people in, love to see it. That's right. Ujwal saying, as our guy Chris likes to say, developers. Speaking of which, Melbourne Hacker House. Can I get a little W2 for our Aussie friends down under? The Melbourne Hacker House has gone through. We got a week full of learning, building, and good vibes. Shout out to Ellie and the rest of the events team. If there's one thing Solana knows how to do, it is throw a party. So if you have not been to a Hacker House yet, you need to get to them. It's a great time. Let's go to win number 3. And now this is a big one here. Nas of Nas Daily fame, now Nas Academy, one of the biggest influencers in the world, has released a Solana-specific development course for free. 22,000 people have signed up for that course in the first week. Sorry, Akshay, my guy is correcting me now. It's 27,000 people. Can I get a W3 in the chat for Nas Daily just crushing over here? And of course, a shout out to Akshay BD, who also helped set up this deal and has been working hard behind the scenes on it. Love to see it. Plenty of developers. W Akshay is right, says Matty and many others. W3W, I love that. B-Man with the 20 W3s. There we go. Let's go to W4. Our friends in Super Team Mexico. 1,000 builders came out. And, it's a little bit self-congratulatory for Super Team members to thank other Super Team members. But I'll tell you this, as soon as I saw this photo, this is a little bear pinata that they beat up in front of all these new Solana devs, which you have to love. So shout out to all of our friends down in Super Team Mexico, the Etherfuse gang, Mahio, and the rest of them. Just tons of developers. So that's a lot of developers coming in across the world, in Mexico, in Australia, in pretty much everywhere else. What are all these developers going to do when they come? Well, that's where win number 5 comes in over here. The Brave wallet has finally brought Solana dApp support to Android and iOS. Anyone who's got a mobile phone and is using Brave now has an easy way to start to use these tokens and interact, because otherwise it's a bit of a pain. That's a W5, if you ask me. So shout out to the Brave team, longtime supporters of the ecosystem. Love to see that. And then win number 6, all these new devs, a lot of them play games. The Solana SDK for Unity is now live, which makes it super easy to build on Solana. I got a feeling that we're going to see a lot more. If you were at Breakpoint, you would have seen the entire games day, with this entire space was just taken over by like 50 different games. It was crazy. I didn't know there was so much gaming on Solana. And now there's going to be even more. So shout out to the Magic Block team for making that happen. That's a W, if you ask me. Let's go over next to, now this one is very near and dear to my heart. This is a big one here. For anyone who's coming to Solana and does not have a multi-sig already, there's only one option, and that option is squads. They have gone fully immutable. Long-term milestone here. Dimitri from Squads, one of the co-founders in the chat, dropping W's for himself, as well he should, because that is a big one, I gotta tell you. Fully audited, open sourced, formally verified, and immutable. This is just a technical achievement to match technical achievements. We're going to hear from Stepan a little bit later as well. As Walker is saying, damn, Squad's now an immutable primitive. That is crazy. Essential infrastructure for the ecosystem. Win number 8, all those developers I was talking about, you know how they might, what they might need? A little developer portal to start indexing things from Anchor and a bunch of other features here. Shout out to our friends at Solana FM who put this out there for free. So that's FA2, aka Father. We got Nicholas and the rest of the team. Can I get a little W? Can I get a W8 for Solana FM? Just making life easier for developers all across the world right now. Love to see it. Go check this out, portal.solana.fm. Win number 9. I know it seems like we're going to keep on going here because we probably will. But we got Solana Mobile launching Minty Fresh. See, I'm saying Minty Fresh. That's right. An app that allows anyone with a saga to make an NFT. A lot of people to thank on this one. The Solana Mobile team doing big things right now. You better keep an eye on that. I promise you that. Let's go over next to win number 10. If you were on this call last month, excuse me, you would have seen our guy Jerry from Ellipsis Labs come up. Phoenix is now live, the first fully on-chain, atomically composable, non-custodial limit order book DEX. Crazy. And also, can we get a little W for the art over here? Look at this Phoenix rising. That's just fantastic, gotta say. Also, one of my favorite parts of working in crypto. Shout out to Jerry. Also, shout out to 0x Shit Trader, who's also behind one of the most important products in the Solana ecosystem right now. W for Shit Trader as well, says Tracy. That's right. Win number 11. We're still going here, folks. We're still going. There's only like 5 left to go. Solarplex has launched and already iterated. If you have not checked out Solarplex yet, it is product hunt for Solana. It's getting hot here. That's right, Tony. It is going to allow anybody to get rewarded for finding projects, upvoting projects, bringing users to projects, and a bunch of other things. If you care at all about new Solana projects, check out Solarplex. I think that's going to be an essential kind of discovery mechanism for the ecosystem. So shout out to Vixit and the rest of the folks there. We got win number 12. Oh, and Tony is saying, very importantly, Underdog rewards coming soon. So shout out to Underdog and the folks there doing some very cool work on the reputation side. Next up, win number 12, we got daily contributions on HiveMap are up 4.5x. This is crazy, I think. In general, this 500,000 unique kilometers have been added to the network. HiveMapper is a decentralized kind of mapping service that anybody can get involved with. And it just shows like real world utility, which I love to see. Let's actually create real things in the real world. That's a W12. I can see Tony's got it as well. Tony, you're still texting host and panelists, my guy. We got to get you on. We got to get you on the everyone. There you go, my dude. There you go. Win number 13. I'll be honest with you, this is a story I don't fully understand. but I still think it's pretty cool, which is the Catalina whales have been signed by Def Jam, of all people. Pretty cool. More than anything else, I think it's just a way we're seeing Solana-specific IP going more and more mainstream, going bold, getting more people involved and aware of the ecosystem. The bears are crying, says Dogebot. Whales are winners. That's right. And then we got win number 14. Our friends over at MarginFi have launched Margin Lend. They were on the ecosystem call last month talking about exactly this. Love to see a new primitives being added. Can I get a little vault in the chat? Were there any people here who are part of the black box? This might be a little bit too niche of an inside joke right now. We got some VMs in the chat. Okay, some people are familiar. They know what I'm talking about. That's good. Not a ton, but a few. So shout out to MarginFi, Edgar, and the rest of the team. They're just absolute chads, crushing. Win number 15, I'd heard a rumor that Solana DeFi was dead. I don't know where I heard that, but Drift has clearly not gotten the memo because Drift V2 just crossed 100 million in volume and launched spot directly on Drift, which is crazy. So trust the volume, says Tony. That's right. Love to see that. And then finally, the one that I think everyone in this call better be excited about, the Mad List is live in Backpack. Can I get a wow in the chat for just Armani, Tristan, and the rest of the goats over there? We got good art, which is not always the case with top projects. So this is love to see like some fantastic art, chef's kiss experience of just going through it, and wows plenty. If you need a code still, I'm sure you can just ask in the chat and people will drop those. Make sure you don't miss this. Do not sleep on Mad List. Shout out to those folks. All right, I think that's all the wins of the week. Do we miss anything? Let me know in the chat. Are there any wins that we should have called out that we did not hear? Anything? Dual Finance is launching a token today, says John Kramer. Okay, so shout out to Dual Finance. That I did not know. Gum is Fun has launched. Akshat saying, yeah, Parag paid you to say that, I know. Dean's List, says Arslan. We're going to hear from Dean's List in just a little bit, so that is for sure. Parcel and Underdog crushing it with a massive campaign. Soulmates, in case you missed it, you should go check that out as well. Plenty of wins. Bonk Perps are on now on Drift is the only DEX. Wow. Orca side by Clockwork. Too many great things are happening over here, which we love to see. So shout out to everybody who's doing good work and actually building through the bear here. We got one question from Eugenio. Which is the country in the world that has the most Solana developers? Well, by registrations on the hackathon, I think that would be India, but it might be the US. I think, I forget the Electric Capital report. I can't remember. And yes, so many people are building at Monkedao as well. That's a great one. Deutschland, says Berlin Build Station, not at all biased. Let's talk about how the network is doing overall. So we're seeing about 370 million transactions a day. That includes voting and non-voting. So it's a lot for sure either way. 6.32 million addresses in the last 30 days have been active. Of course, one person might have multiple addresses, so this is not the same as like an actual monthly active user number, but it's still indicative of kind of where we are. TPS at 5K right now, which is crazy. Validators, Solana is still the most decentralized network, 2,853. Went a little bit down versus January when we look at the non-voting transactions per day. So the number of transactions per day and the daily active programs both dipped a little bit as it goes. You don't expect it always to be perfect. I have a feeling with the Mad List stuff happening this month, these numbers are all going to be pretty green come March. Let's take a look, though, at some of the NFT stats before Noam tells us a little bit more here. Almost 1 million NFTs minted in the single month of February, 270,000 collections, which is crazy. Now, volume down, certainly January into February. I think there was probably fewer major announcements, but we will see. But then we have 2.4 million holders of a Solana NFT, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, let me pass it over to Noam, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the state of NFTs on Solana. Noam, please take it away.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. As always, Cash, appreciate it. I'm Noam from the Monkedao. So the biggest things that I wanted to talk about, just the state of NFTs. And I think the biggest thing that we can really talk about is how everyone is starting to adapt to the permissioned NFT protocols that are coming out, most notably the ones being developed by Metaplex, where we're trying to figure out whether people care more about where they can use their products or how much ownership they have specifically of their products. This is turning into a lot of conversations around what do we actually want to be using NFTs for, and is developing ideally a desire for a bunch of new models. In that same vein, we're kind of seeing the death of minting in general in terms of the old 10K collections, which are just minting out on certain launch pads and pre-sale off to certain groups, and then you do a whitelist sale and everything around there. that's not working anymore. And a lot of that is because there's not enough liquidity in the ecosystem to support a ton of new mints, as well as the fact that people are just getting interested in new ideas. So you saw the hyperglyphs that came out over the course of the last month, which was an amazing hackathon project working on the idea of continuous generative auctions. You're looking at projects like Code Canvas that are trying to develop the idea of long-term generative interaction between artists and collectors. And what this is also kind of turning into is the development of new groups that are consolidating the ownership and control of various NFT projects. We have a ton of projects right now that have strong communities, but might be lacking the ideas or incentives to develop new tech or new things that interest people. And right now there's a larger movement for whether these projects can be purchased to test out new things like the Raindrops protocol that are coming out as test collections, or whether they're turning into this whole new IP syndicate that you're probably seeing. For anyone on Twitter over the last couple of days, I think the SMB one is going to be the biggest example of that, but there are a few others going on at the same time. And so in that way, my own plug is Monkedao is continuing to work on its own collection. You're going to see a bunch of new information about how it's going to be rolling out in a proposal that's going out tomorrow in our town hall. And we're looking forward to seeing all the new innovations coming up over the course of the next month. Thanks for having me. Enjoy it.
Always a pleasure, my guy. Can we get a little W for Gnome to see it? And everyone over at Monkedao just doing awesome work. Hashtag trust the tail. You're not going to want to sleep on that OMC that's coming out, man. I'm telling you, that new collection is going to be fire. And just representing, if you ask me personally, some of the best that the NFT community has to offer. So shout out to him, not Nom, excuse me. Yes, I apologize. It is Nom. I appreciate the help. Let's go next over to Refi. So for people who don't know, Refi stands for regenerative finance. And in my opinion, it's going to be one of the burgeoning sectors on Solana specifically over the next 12 months, 18 months. This is going to be a big narrative, I would be willing to bet. To that end, we've invited here Facundo from Gainforest, one of the most interesting and exciting projects, I think, on the Refi space. There are many, but that's one of them. Can we please welcome them to the stage with a little tree emoji? Can people put a little tree emoji in here for Facundo? And if you don't mind turning on your video as well, please, you can take us through some stats here.
Cash, hello everyone. Good to see you all in here. Well, yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Refi means, this transition from the generative finance into regenerative finance. So moving away from this degen model. And I think we can all do this actually by tokenizing common goods such as nature, carbon, biodiversity, and all of that, because it is time to actually put a proper value on this, because we have all seen the work. It sucks. Like as we were mentioning, shit happens. It's not only on the ecosystem, it happens in real life as well. This is not TNT, the TV channel. I'm sorry for jokes. But and we think this is happening because due to the lack of transparency that we see on all these sort of different projects, where you can donate some money, you can offset your footprint, but you don't really know where your money is going to, what sort of impact you have. So it has become this black box. And that's why we are working on this transparency dashboard, where you have different data layers, such as satellite imagery, drone data, and also allowing people on the ground to upload their own data. And if we take a look, yeah, awesome, from degens to region. I was reading on the chat. And if you do take a look at the global market of offsets, particularly on the past year, we've seen people spending as much as $270 billion, and yet the impact is yet to be seen, because when you take a look at the curves of greenhouse emissions, it only keeps on going up. It doesn't matter Paris, it doesn't matter in Kyoto, it keeps on going up. Now, one of the amazing things actually to me about the Solana community is not only the net zero approach the network itself is taking. To me, it's also the fact that if you do a transaction on Solana, it accounts for the same amount of energy as two Google searches, or at present times, even after merge, it accounts for the same as 43 or 44 transactions on Ethereum. So this is amazing, but it's now time to move from just carbon to real impacts that we can all see at a bigger level. Now, if you will kindly move to the next slide, perfect. Just a couple of weeks ago, one very exciting project on Solana community as well, Sunrise Stake, they went live. And I love the project. I gotta say, like, you can, instead of just like staking on a different protocol, you stake your Solana, and the shield earnings that you make, they go to offsetting different projects around the world. So, you can just be sleeping and helping make the world a better place. Also, if you want to learn more about Refi, follow Refi At on Twitter. They just launched this new common goods incubator, and they have been doing amazing work for the past years and for the past few years. And I think John is here as well. We also saw Open Forest raising $4 million in the past weeks. And at the same time, just last week, a trifecta of different founders from different blockchains, they announced they are going to be releasing a new fund of $100 million just for Refi. So exciting times are coming to the space in general. And in early February, we at Gainforest, we successfully tried out this pilot project in the Philippines, where we tested out this measure to earn mechanism. I'm sure you all remember, just like how last year we got play to earn. Well, this is like measure to earn. So if you move onto the next slide, you can all see a small video of the results we got from the pilot project in the Philippines, where we went into the woods with a bunch of people from local communities. They got this phone app to take different measurements of the trees. Every one of them, they got assigned an address on the blockchain. And when they uploaded all the data, they got payments being released to their account. So you can properly follow all these on a transparent manner on the chain. And now we hope that in the near future, you will be able to tokenize these and sell the impact that you have made or your community has made. To me, this is so exciting. Thank you,
me
Cash.
as well, buddy. You are not alone in that. This is like the real world being positively affected by blockchain technology. Who would have guessed that was even possible? You know what I mean? Love to see this. And I see Amira, shout out to Amira from the Solana Foundation, who put us in touch with Gainforest and Facundo. So shout out to them. It's good for the world. It is good for Solana. And there's going to be a lot more moves happening there. With that said, we're going to bring on our special guest. At this time, he's going to talk to us a little bit about the hackathon. I think many people on this call already know Matty, but if you don't, he is head of growth at the Solana Foundation. He's been working on these hackathons, which are a flagship thing for Solana and have been for many years. Drop a little GM Matty in the chat as Matty comes on to tell us about the hackathon.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you. I don't know if we can see you yet. Where's your video?
How about now?
There we go.
Hey, yeah, thanks for inviting me on. Excited to be here. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give some high-level stats on what we're seeing with the Grizzly Fawn hackathon so far. So yeah, like Cash said, over 7,000 participants. This is trending pretty well in comparison to like previous hackathons, and that's encouraging given just the state of the market and everything. So it's great to see builders come out in force. Yeah, top 5 countries. So we have India leading the pack, US, Vietnam, Germany, Turkey, and a pretty long tail of other countries. I think one thing that's interesting here is that while India, I think, makes up about like, I think it's like around like 15 to 20% right now, the rest of it is sort of this long tail of other countries around the world, which is awesome to see. One note on this, though, like the most important thing for us is not getting a ton of registrations. We want to see actual project submissions at the end of the day. That's what really matters. And so, yeah, the project submission deadline is March 14th. We'll be opening up the submission form about 7 days before. So we'll be sure to let everyone know who's participating about that. And then, yeah, obviously, one thing that's a little bit different than about Solana hackathons than, your just traditional hackathon is that we're really focused on teams who are willing to sort of like quit their full-time gig, pursue this full-time, raise seed funding after. And I think we've seen a ton of teams who have won the hackathon do just that. So I think in total so far, there's been about over 600 million in seed funding invested in Solana hackathon projects over the last couple of years. So yeah, just if anyone's participating in that, finish strong. And yeah, we can jump into questions or anything else at this point.
Let's do exactly that, folks. So if you have Stefan from Squad saying we didn't even win and still did okay. So yeah, shout out. Just the act of participating is useful to get some publicity. It also is a nice forcing function to get you building with other people. It's pretty great. If you have some questions for Matty, please do put them in the Q&A thing. It's right next to the chat button, so it should be pretty easy to find, and we can get those answered up here for anyone who's building. I got a few questions that already came in, Matty, so we can go through these while we wait. So the first one here, I think there's still a little bit of confusion on this, but even though it's been clear, so let's just settle the score once and for all. Are winners of Sandstorm allowed to participate in Grizzlython?
Yes. So all the participants and winners of Sandstorm can compete in win prizes in Grizzlython. The one note there is that you will just be judged on the work that you do from the start of Grizzlython to the end of Grizzlython. So we won't be looking at any of the code or anything of your submission part of Sandstorm. It will be a completely new submission, and we'll be looking at GitHubs and et cetera to see kind of like the work that you've done during our competition.
Makes sense. So shout out to Root and Cubic and a bunch of other projects that can still compete with some new stuff, but not rest on their laurels. Next question here. Can an individual be part of two teams? This has come up a few times.
No. So an individual cannot be part of two teams, one submission per participant or team. So I would, and this is like kind of goes back to the point around like we're just really looking for people who are looking to do this full time. So I would choose an idea, stick with it, and pursue whatever you think has the best chance of being a viable business long term.
Makes sense. And then kind of relatedly, another question we get a lot, can the same team submit more than one project?
No, again, similar sentiment there. Choose one, pursue that project as best you can. These things are really, really competitive. So if you're spreading yourself thin across a couple project submissions, there's a lower chance that you're going to win a prize and be competitive.
Makes sense. I think it's so useful just to be for everyone to remember. It's a business competition at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
We got a question here from Venkatish in the audience. What are the stuff you will expect for the hackathon, like PowerPoints, videos, GitHub, etc.?
Yeah, this will be in the submission form that will give more details about exactly what we're looking for. But generally, yes, we're looking for just info about like why you chose your project, idea, your GitHub. Yeah, either a PowerPoint or a video submission. You can do either or. Just a reminder there, though, please keep it to like 5 to 7 minutes. I think we've had teams in the past do like an hour-long presentation before on YouTube. So please keep it concise so that it makes it easy for judges to review. Yeah, we also just want to know who you are, like why you're best fit to pursue this idea. I think this is something you see a lot in like, you know, when VCs interview like seed stage startups is like, why are you interested and, you know, best fit to pursue this problem and solve this you know, need in the market.
Makes sense. Founder market fit over there, or founder problem fit, maybe we might call it. If you need a PowerPoint presentation, I got some good news for you. We at Super Team made one. We made a little template to make life easier for everybody. I think that's superteam.fun/hackathon, or Srijani putting in a little video that we made as well. Let's see, other questions. Some of these questions I will not read in the Q&A, although I appreciate people asking them. Let's see, what is your favorite team? Have you seen any exciting teams so far? Or what are any projects that you're particularly excited about? That's Daniel.
I'm not going to say anyone specifically, but one thing that is important that helps us sort of evaluate projects is like starting a Twitter account right now to start like engaging with the community, because honestly, like we're not reviewing GitHubs in real time. We're waiting till the very end. Having said that, we are interested to see how projects are sort of, you know, starting to engage with the community, form their communities around their project, get feedback on their products. So there's I've probably seen over 100 to 200 projects so far that have created a Twitter account, have started to engage with the community. And I think that's really important and something that the judges look for. So yeah, highly encourage anyone to do that if you haven't done it already.
Fantastic. All right. I think for the sake of time, we might start to wrap it up. Let's see, our improvement docs. There's a question, are improvement docs or research work to current state of Solana also eligible for winning prizes? I don't believe so, but Is research eligible for prizes?
So they're eligible for prizes, I would say. But having said that, again, can you build a business around this? Is a really important factor of what we look for in terms of, you know, choosing winners. And so if you think you can do that, like if you want to create sort of a developer company or a developer-based company that's like producing these research reports and selling it to, you know, to customers, that's something interesting. But again, yeah, we're looking for business viability as an important factor here.
Makes sense. Well, there are some more questions, but I think unfortunately for the sake of time, we're going to have to start wrapping this up. Matty, any last advice for any of the builders watching this right now?
No, just finish strong. Make sure that you spend at least some time on your presentation. That's really important. You know, create a Twitter account, start engaging with the community, start getting feedback from the community on the products that you've built. And yeah, if you have any questions, my DMs are open on Discord and Twitter, and yeah, excited to see what people build.
That's a brave man right there, with DMs open on Discord and Twitter for the rest of the world to reach out. All right. Shout out to Matty. We're getting some other quick tips here. People can tag, I think Tony, I think Alice. There's a few people in the chat who will happily look at your projects. Definitely get a multi-sig, says Stefan. Always be shilling. And I think that is all. Matty, thank you so much for coming out, brother. We will catch up with you real soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Peace. All right, we're going to keep the good times moving real quick. A new segment that we got here. It's just going to be like a minute or two long, called Work to Earn, where we share some like really exciting earning opportunities from across the Solana ecosystem. Work to Earn, obviously a little bit of a play on the play to earn and all those other kind of, I don't want to call them fake, but those other types of earning. Yes, salary, Tony, as it's sometimes known. Work to Earn is what we're calling this segment. There were some rejected titles from our writing team over at Sketchy Business within Super Team, including Cash Cow. They wanted me to put my face on a cow, which we are not going to be doing. We're not going to be calling it the Dirty Fiat segment or the printer or Enough Cash, Let's Talk About Cash, or Show Me the Money. We're not doing any of those things. Instead, we're just going to do in hindsight, I don't know why I even put these up on here. This was good, like obviously going to be a bad idea. Yeah, should not have said that. I think everyone likes we might have to switch next time. Cash flow is pretty good. So shout out to DMZ. That one we did not think of, but we maybe should have. That's Anirudh More in the chat right now, is the man who made this list. So you can like him or not. Cash flow is kind of good. All right, anyway, let's talk about what these are here. I do not need cash on a cow. Yaris, thank you very much. All right, first up. $800 up for grabs for a bounty on an essay for developer portal. So whether you're a dev, or maybe you know a dev, maybe you know a college student who's looking to make some extra money, maybe you know somebody else entirely, maybe you know Stephen King and you want him to get involved in the Solana ecosystem, go work on this deep dive. You can actually go ahead and find this on Super Team Earn. That's the bounty. The next one is the grant. At Super Team, we just launched a new grants program called Surfing Glass, sponsored by my personal company, Ecstasis, and shout out to the Solana Foundation, for dev tooling. So from $1 to $5,000, grants are available for any tools or piece of content or anything else that makes it easier to build on Solana. So if you're working on something like that for the hackathon, or you have a side project idea, if there's something that you just wish existed and you need a reason to go build it, well, we'll give you some money to do that. So you can check that out on earn.superteam.fun as well. And then finally, this job goes crazy. I saw this here. Dialect is looking for a head of marketing, and they are paying handsomely for it as well. Dialect, if you've been on the ecosystem call, you will know them. Killer team, killer product, new head of marketing to take their consumer product wide across the world. Alice Clockwork saying killer team. Absolutely. Stefan thinking about doing it. Honestly, if I didn't already have a job, I'd probably be applying to this as well. Dialect, super, super cool. So get involved over there. And Maurice maybe has somebody for Dialect as well. So I think, I don't know if any of the Dialect team is here in the chat right now, but they will be around very soon. Okay, that's it for cash flow, cash cow, work to earn, whatever that is going to be called. Let's go over to the Apha Drops. This is where different projects are going to come up and tell us a little bit about what they shipped in the last few weeks. Remember, we're celebrating builders here. That's the real point of all of this. The first project I want to invite up is one of the first buddies I made in crypto. I think one of the smartest people I've met in crypto, certainly one of the fastest shipping teams in all of crypto. Please get a little GM for Stepan in the chat here as we as we hear from Squads, the multi-sig standard you were looking for.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me? Works well.
We can hear you and we can see you with the locks, the lovely locks flowing as usual, my guy.
Getting along. It's getting along. Thanks for having me, Cash. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, so Squads is a quick intro. Squads is a multi-sig standard for Solana for about 6 months, since August. Last year, we've been focusing on building out Squads v3, which is like this great iteration of Squads protocol. The idea behind it was to make this foundational smart contract wallet infrastructure layer for the ecosystem, so that it can be used as a multi-sig, can also be leveraged to build other products on top, like smart wallets, and leveraging smart contract wallet level account abstraction to deliver like these very new smart wallet experiences that I think everybody's thinking about in terms of better UX for wallets. Now we are sort of shifting the focus from the protocol to the product, and actually building out the platform for teams on Solana that are looking to manage, treasury assets, developer assets, like a program, a validator, a token. And the idea behind it is that it sort of becomes their companion tool throughout the lifetime of the project, which they rely on to manage and like control these core assets together as a team. And the Squads protocol is obviously powering that platform. And we kind of discovered along the way that multi-sig isn't really a product, it's a feature, right? It's a feature that allows you to have more secure, decentralized control of these assets. But really the platform that we built out like focuses a lot on figuring out these very intuitive user flows for how you upgrade a program on Solana. How do you, mint, burn, manage properties of a token? How do you manage, a bunch of validators that you might have? And then obviously a lot of it is related to treasury management and doing sort of, sends to multiple addresses and managing payroll and other things. And so in terms of what we shipped in the last few weeks, I think the biggest one is, as you mentioned earlier, was immutability for Squads v3. It's been a long road. We had a long sort of bucket list of things we wanted to deliver for the protocol. It was, multiple audits with reputable firms like Neodime and Ottr. It was formal verification, which we also did with Ottr, and it was sort of the first formally verified program on Solana. And immutability was the sort of final frontier for, at least for Squads v3. And we finally sort of reached that. It was a great moment for us internally, and also the ecosystem really supported it. And we're super excited that now this kind of full package is done. And I think if there's one sort of action item I can leave, people on the call, is that, now there's no more excuses from protocols on Solana not to use a multi-sig for program upgrades. So ask your favorite protocol, where is the upgrade authority, right? Is it with a single key? Is it, is it at least a cold wallet? But point them to a multi-sig solution that's available now, that's formally verified, that's immutable, that's open source, that's audited. Well, we say 3 times, audited obviously more, but these like official audit, there's been 3. So anyway, yeah, that's I guess that's the main thing. We also have a Grizzlython track, side track that we're sponsoring, actually 2 side tracks. One is for treasury management tools, and the other one is for anything related to account abstraction. We have sort of a separate program called Roles that allows you to sort of program different keys you add to the multi-sig. And really, yeah, so if you do want to build out sort of smart wallets with social recovery and like different user experiences that everybody is used to right now, it's a great foundation to do that. And again, we kind of did the work, at least on the security side, so you don't have to, right? Like instead of you actually building out that layer, you can tap into what we built and use that. And so yeah, we have a bunch of projects that already are building something, but yeah, definitely if you're on the call and you're building something using Squads, reach out to me directly, or anyone from the team would love to sort of support you along the way as well. And I think in terms of alpha for what's coming, we're right now working on, so right now the platform actually covers, there's a treasury management section, there's a developers section, right, which covers, programs, tokens, validators, and has a transaction builder, which is we just shipped a new version of as well, that allows you to create these sort of custom transactions and populate them with Arbiter instructions and just interact with any programs on Solana through your multi-sig. And then we're working right now on the creators section of the app that basically will allow you to manage NFT collections, update metadata, transfer authorities in and out. And like a lot of it is around like solving this issue of, like if you have a 10K collection, how can you, where do you call the authority? And so we're solving a lot of these problems right now. And it's sort of one of the harder challenges we kind of left for last. So again, yeah, if you're if you have an NFT collection, you're struggling to to manage it right now, and you want more security and decentralized control over this very core asset that you have, also make yourself known, and potentially you can sort of participate in investing in some of this stuff. Yeah, I mean that's what we've been up to.
As always, it is a lot. The folks over there are doing just crazy things at Squads. Keep an eye out on them. Thanks for coming through. Stefan, always a pleasure to see you, my guy. A late GM. Love that. Late GM. Okay, cool. Let's go next over to another person that I met way back in the day, early in my own crypto journey here. We have none other than the founder of GrapeDAO, founder of Dean's List, one of the main contributors to Athens DAO, which was the first community organized hackathon, if I'm not mistaken. So this man lives, breathes, sleeps community. Drop a little GM for our friend Dean from Dean's List coming to the stage right now. Dean, what you got?
Thank you for having me today, Cash. And what a great presentation so far. It was awesome hearing from Squads. Huge Squads user here, also at Dean's List. So Dean's List is a service DAO. What is a service DAO? We're hyper focused on providing a service all together. So teamwork makes the dream work. We work all together to help provide feedback for different protocols in Solana. And most recently, one of the big wins for us that I'm going to be referring to later is we completed our summer camp review program, which we worked with 10 different hackathon winners. So what does it mean to be part of our service DAO? How you get involved? Grab one of our tokens. Anybody with a token is a member. Come into our Discord, and from that point, you can work on any of our active feedback jobs. Right now, we have Backpack and we have Signally is something that people can work on. And then you can also join our Grizzlython Accelerator review. But what we're trying to do is really explore this decentralized work world. I think Super Team DAO has done a fantastic job carrying that torch. And I've been inspired by what you guys have done. We actually have even contributed now on one of those work to earns with, I think it was Samudai.
That's right.
So yeah, right now, as I said, the big wins we had was this program that we finished. We did reviews for Tensor, for Cini, for there's a bunch of them. I don't remember them all right now. We've been reviewing so many projects, I kind of forget them slowly. And we use different decentralized programs to do all of this. We use Realms. We use something called Squads, if you guys have heard of it before. We also use Strata, which handles our token. And we use Coinable, which is our front end for sales. So all of this happens on chain, right? Somebody buys something on Coinable, it goes straight to our treasury on Realms. We do distributions through Squads. It's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to using a lot of the Grizzlython applications too. For our Grizzlython Accelerator, we started this new idea where instead of just giving feedback to existing protocols, what if we helped new protocols going into the Grizzlython? So right now we're working with, it says on the slide 5, but it's actually 6 because today we had a new one join us. So we've got Sunrise Stake, which we mentioned before in Refi. We've got Nodia, Crack Finance, Shift, Alchemy, and drumroll, Get Trigger. Carlos joined us today.
Hey!
Yeah, we could not miss out on having a superstar like Carlos join our accelerator. We're really excited to start helping out, give some last minute feedback before the last 2 weeks of the Mad Dash before the end of the hackathon. Now, a bit of alpha. Tomorrow we're dropping our community NFT. It's super restrictive, but we'll slowly open it up. There's only going to be 96 of them. So it's meant for a very small community. And then we're going to be launching a new token. Now, why launch a new token? I'll share an article later in the chat. But long story short, it's important to have a very well thought out distribution for these DAOs, for these service DAOs. And some alpha for everybody. Everybody who's on this call, who receives the POAP, will also get some of the new token allocation. Because really, Super Team is the perfect example of what we're trying to achieve as well, right? It's a community, everybody working together to make the dream of Solana even bigger. If you want to get involved, how you can help us? If you're somebody who's looking to work, and if you're already giving feedback, why not get paid for it, right? all of these Discords have those channels. Come in and join us, get some money out of that. And then also, if you have your own service and you want to get a support mechanism underneath it, marketing, administration, advice, mentorship, what have you. We're doing that with Solidex right now, which is run by one of the Bandito DAO guys, Henko. So yeah, come and join us. Have a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, Cash.
Cheers. Shout out to Dean. Can we get a little W in the chat? Dean just like Santa Claus, just gifting airdrops all around here. Shout out to Dean and Dean's list. Give airdrop. You know who? Everyone in this audience is very happy, but I think all the rest of the presenters are also going to be very happy because now everyone's staying until the end. And next, want to bring up to the stage Ottr Finance. I think we saw this product, I don't know, just a few weeks ago was the first time I really got a sense of it. And just the UI, the UX of it is just, it's so good. I know a bunch of people on the call already friends with Ottr. Let's get a little GM for Grace, head of growth over at Ottr.
Hi, everyone.
Tell us all about it.
Okay, I'll try to fit it in 2 minutes. So Ottr, what we are building is a mobile wallet, and we aim to replicate everything you can do with your bank, but under the hood, everything is built on Solana, of course. And so this is what we call banking 3.0. You know, anyone with a phone can save in USDC on chain. You can pay anyone instantly. And then you can also invest and stake crypto with 0% fees. And the staking is just direct staking with one click. And lastly, you know, we care a lot about managing private keys for people so that we can onboard new users who are not familiar with DeFi or crypto, so they don't have to manage their private keys, but we do have state-of-the-art encryption and backup so that they don't have to worry about that. And lastly, we are looking to release a debit card so that we can round out the payment experience. So, you know, you can literally pay anyone, including merchants, using your on-chain balance. And, you know, our goal basically is to realize this original dream of the blockchain, which is decentralized payments without a middleman. And ironically, until Solana came around, that was not really possible because of the, I guess, low TPS and high fees in all the other networks. So definitely kudos to Solana. And then in terms of what we shipped, so we shipped the concept of friends. So you can now find and invite from your contacts all your friends. That makes paying them easier. And then that also allows you to invite them to our app, and it enables our referral program. We will just have to add a referral bonus sometime down the line for you to, you know, get paid for inviting people. And then we have support for more coins trading. And then we also are releasing NFT support next week so that you can display your existing NFTs, set one as your Ottr profile pic. We're just hoping to provide something for everyone, whether you are a Web3 native with lots of NFTs or someone who is completely new to crypto and, you know, just looking for more access to USDC banking. In terms of our asks, you can, so we're always looking for more, like, better improved on-off ramps, especially in the non-US market. So, you know, if you know any providers who specialize in Europe, Asia, LATAM, where they really localize and know the market well in terms of integrating with banks, please DM us on Twitter. We'd love to get in touch with them. Our Twitter is @Ottr Finance. So definitely follow us so that you can stay on top for our referral program and our debit card release. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Grace. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Ottr. Building for a world where, listen, stable coins are the future, right? If anyone here has earned on in crypto, that is just the best way to earn, instant, low fees, etc. Ottr is building for that future. I want to go next to Hello Moon. Hello Moon has been just like on a race towards global domination, if we're being honest. Like most every major Web3 Solana project, you know, whether it's Orca, OpenBook, Magic Eden, or anybody else, is already using them. So if you haven't heard of them yet, you're going to hear a lot about them soon. The W's are flowing in. We're not even, I haven't even asked. No one even asked. These are spontaneous W's, but drop a W in the chat for our guy, Walker, co-founder of Hello Moon. Walker, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Cash, I'm good. Thanks for having us. Excited to talk to everybody on the call. So we very recently rolled out a super cool developer platform that covers, sort of raw Solana data. So think NFT primitives, DeFi primitives, et cetera. Ultra low latency webhooks, APIs, et cetera, et cetera. But we also vend aggregated data. So think, no latency floor prices, which Fract recently integrated as part of the oracle that governs their protocol, no latency token prices, et cetera, et cetera. We're working with a bunch of super cool hackathon competitors. So people like Liquify, CandyPay, Little Bonkers, which I believe just won the Super Team Mexico hackathon.
That's right.
Also working with larger projects like Sharky, Monkey Baby Business, Fract, the names you mentioned, et cetera, et cetera. A lot more coming out soon. And in terms of things we shipped in the last month, I mean, we shipped that whole product suite. But in terms of things we're shipping today, we're actually super excited to announce that starting in about an hour, you're going to be able to pay for our dev platform using CandyPay.
Hey!
So I think everybody knows and loves CandyPay, and so you can now now use CandyPay with Hello Moon. So anyway, we're going to be putting out a lot more cool stuff soon, and love the super team and everything you guys are doing. So excited to be here.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for coming out. I see the W's. The love for CandyPay is deep on this call. That's for sure. Shout out to Vampo/Umang. Next up, we're going to go to our friends over at TipLink. TipLink, one of the coolest projects, like just as an idea that I've seen in a little while. I think we first kind of met the team at Breakpoint, but had seen them even before. The idea is simple, but incredibly innovative. You send crypto where the link is the wallet. Can we drop a little $ in there for TipLink? Ian, co-founder of TipLink, what you got for us, buddy?
Hey there. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Ian Krasinski. I'm the co-founder, CEO of TipLink. I also go by Our Vision on Twitter. So the idea with TipLink is you can send crypto or NFTs with just a link. Actually, this past week, we announced our seed round, co-led by Sequoia and Multicoin. And really the best way to understand TipLink is with a little demos. So the idea is, like, let's say I want to send my buddy Ashik just a couple dollars of crypto. He's my co-founder. All I do is I go to TipLink, I connect my wallet, hit $2, and hit create TipLink. And this actually creates what we're calling like a link wallet that has $2 on it. Then I can just copy it over and send to Ashik. And now I just sent him $2 of crypto. That's what it's like sending. Receiving, let's just say I got a TipLink. I can just click on the link. And if I have a crypto wallet, I can just withdraw it to any crypto wallet, let's say my Phantom wallet. And just like that, the money moved from my link to the wallet. Now, the third example is a little bit more interesting. Let's say I've never touched crypto in my life before. All I have to do is connect my Google account. And in under 5 seconds, you basically just got a wallet set up and you're onboarded into crypto. And so now you can send links to anyone on the planet and you don't have to worry about if they have a wallet set up or not. Right. And the other thing that's cool is you can use it in the physical world. So you can just show people QR codes. And if they scan it in the physical world, then that's actually giving them crypto. And the thing that I would like to just share with the group is the thing that we just launched as well, aside from just announcing our seed funding, is our API. And so the API allows you to just generate infinite tip links, send them out however you like. And we think there's going to be like massive businesses built on top of this. So if you're on this call and you're a developer and you're looking for something to hack on, like being early to this thing and figuring out things, use cases to hack on, I think that's going to be a massive win for the people who do this early. And so just a couple of ideas of things that you can do with the TipLink API. So you can basically blast out crypto or NFTs with a link over an email distro. In an application, you can have a button at the end of it, even a Web2 application, where if you beat a game, you click a button and you get an NFT just because the link is a wallet. We've seen people do this where you just print out QR codes and give out people, you scan the QR code, get some USDC, and we have Solana Pay as well. So you can then immediately spend that USDC. So it's amazing seeing someone who's never touched crypto be able to get on board and start spending it within 30 seconds. And then you can create some, like, let's say chatbot experiences where you message a bot and you get back a link with crypto or NFTs. And actually, speaking of getting a chatbot set up, we actually just before this tweeted out. So if you go to TipLink official, and we have an implementation of this API out right now. So all you do is you DM the message bot, and it just responds to you with the link of a free NFT. So you should give that check that out. And if you're interested in using the API for anything, if you just want to brainstorm some ideas, hop into Discord. We'd love to chat with you.
Fantastic. A lot of love coming in over here. Greg, also from the TipLink team, just putting in a link to TipLink. And go check that out. A lot of fun things to be happening here. I want to share our last alpha drop of the day. And this is a real alpha drop because I believe this is being announced for the first time here on this call. Man, I'm about to introduce has been, again, another just longtime buddy, founder of one of the most successful consumer startups already on Solana, now back with another project trying to solve massive pain points for any business or any merchant that might be out there that's figuring into the crypto finance world of the future. Drop a little GM for Dan, the founder of Coinflow Labs, in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, tell the people what you've been working on.
Thanks for that intro. I'll try following up with that energy, but yeah, and I'll make it quick because that's kind of like the name of the business. So yeah, Coinflow is working on two different things. One, we have a checkout product, which allows consumers to buy goods that are sold on the blockchain. So you can think of that as NFTs, entering fantasy sports contests, which was our last business. Refi, which is another great use case, centralized storage, and all this type of stuff with the debit or credit card. So it's not only buying NFTs with a credit card, it's buying anything that you can from a smart contract, credit, debit card, ACH, and abstracts everything away for the user. And we do all the communication with the smart contract. So we are that middleware layer between traditional finance. So you can think of that as payment service providers like Stripes, banks, etc., communicating directly to smart contracts to get you goods and services. On the other side, so like that's the first part, getting people in. The second part is when people want to realize the value from being in the crypto community and ecosystem is getting that out of their wallets to their bank accounts. So we have a US off-ramp that is live. We offer same-day ACH, regular ACH, and also the coolest is real-time payments. So that runs 24/7, 365 in the real-time payment network. So you can go from self-custody wallet, crypto, any token with liquidity to your US bank account in the speed of Solana, so right about 30 seconds. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. We've seen some people shared some alpha. Greg's on this call, so I know he had like a tweet that blew up from sharing it. And we've worked with a lot of people on this call already. But one thing that we just recently shipped, and we have some design partners, shout out Squads and shout out to Heem from Mesher Club as well. We are going to be expanding this not only from consumers, but also businesses. So if you need to do payroll and you want to do that instantly, or you forgot, or you got a big bill that you forgot to pay, you can, and it's a Sunday night because you're a founder and things get busy, you can go ahead and use one of our partners and do real-time payments. So yeah, check us out. And then we are live and ready to onboard people. We've been doing some white glove services, but if you want to use us for payments, either for getting some consumers onto your application and getting that conversion up, or you want to do payouts for your customers or businesses on your platform, shoot me a message and we'd love to help you. Sorry, it's early, but trying to follow Cash's energy. All right, thanks everyone.
Appreciate it, Dan. I think this is the first ever romance to start on an ecosystem call. Tony from Underdog might just be in love. Killer product, I gotta tell you, go use it. If you got a project that needs on-ramp, off-ramp, this is the man to talk to. We are 5 minutes past, and I know people got to go, so I do want to keep this pretty quick here. At Super Team, we are building the talent layer for Solana, bringing on developers, users, designers, everybody from around the world, live in 5 markets, including India, Turkey, Vietnam, Mexico, and Germany, of course. We can have all the time, all day. Just a quick little thing from our end. I wanted to share a big shout out to the folks over at Coinable and to Ujwal Gupta, Super Team member from India, who set this up. There is now a Super Team Solana snapback that you can buy on coinablepay.com, which I'll just put the link in there. We make no money from this. This is not a for-profit thing. I believe all profits from the Solana snapbacks are staked directly with Solana validators to improve the decentralization of the network. So buy it. I'm a little biased. I think it looks a little sexy. That's just my opinion, though. So go check that out. Grab it. And a big shout out to Ujwal. He sent me this like 30 minutes before the call started. And I was like, hey, I just did this permissionless contribution, which we love to see. Does it ship to Indonesia? Tony's asking. Yes, it does. And it ships, I think, pretty much everywhere else as well. And now we will call this to a close. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is the Solana ecosystem call. We do this the first Thursday of every month. Go sign up for the other ones. They're on the Luma invite as well. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate people for sticking around a little bit past schedule. And appreciate all the speakers for coming as well and dropping some alpha and making this a good time. The last little piece of thanks goes to Srijani, who's on this call, who helped tremendously with this deck. Just the best, indispensable to Super Team, as well as Yash, the best designer in all of Web3. So shout out to them and shout out to everybody else. Thanks for coming out, folks. We will catch you on April 6th, I think is the next one.